Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Tom Sherry.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. Well, there is no question Spokane teachers are stretched extremely thin right now. For the past month, the district has dealt with staffing shortages because of COVID.
KREM 2's Amanda Rowley went to Stevens Elementary today to see how the staff are covering for these teacher absences.
Every morning at Stevens Elementary, school administrators frantically strategize where to move teachers and students. And that's because of staffing shortages brought on by COVID. I got to see just how they make it work every day.
Morning, guys.
Spokane teachers are finally able to shift away from the dreaded virtual learning.
You should have those spelling words out, friend.
But now they have something new to dread. This yellow notepad.
But teachers are definitely afraid of this thing.
Yeah, you see it and you run the other way.
It's a list of teachers whose schedules or classrooms must change for the day in order to cover for absent teachers. Like schools across the Spokane district, Stevens Elementary is experiencing a significant number of teacher absences due to COVID-19.
There are days, especially in the past few weeks, that have been pretty hectic and pretty just, us kind of with our hair on fire, not knowing exactly what we're going to do to secure coverage in classrooms.
Principal Adrian Espindola says at its peak, Stevens Elementary had 20 staff members out due to COVID.
And this is right smack dab in the middle of January. And that trend kind of held for the next couple of weeks.
As absences persist, administrators gather around this whiteboard each morning to figure out how to fill the gaps.
We end up listing all the teachers' names and then who can provide coverage underneath. And if we're splitting up classrooms, we're kind of doing the same thing.
That plan ends up on the dreaded yellow notepad.
They're definitely like, uh-oh, well, I've lost some work time today. I've lost some planning and some prep time.
Please grab out your spelling words right now.
Some days, teachers are put on a rotating schedule to cover a classroom for 30 minutes to an hour block.
We hate to kind of do that just because it means that there are, sometimes 8 to 9 adults in front of one group of kids.
Or students get moved to a different class.
A couple weeks ago, I had a week where I had 5 different third graders from different classes in my room with me while their teachers were out.
Fourth grade teacher Casey Fincher says the lack of teachers has been overwhelming at times, especially when it means no breaks or prep time.
There was a couple of weeks where we weren't getting preps at all. And so instead of having that time to prepare our own classrooms and get ready for our own kids and learning, we had to do that outside of contract hours.
When they can, administrators do try to give that time back by taking multiple classes outside for a half an hour. Spokane Public Schools says it is starting to see a slight decrease in the number of teacher absences. It hopes that that trend continues. Reporting from Stevens Elementary, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Teaching under the best of circumstances is a challenge. And so, just hats off to them for, getting creative and finding a solution.
And it's been a long slog. They had to learn how to teach online remotely, which was very difficult. And now this, hopefully with that shortened quarantine period, because a lot of teachers may not even be sick, but they were exposed, so they have to stay out for that certain time. So hopefully that will help out a little too.
Let's get through this.
Let's
be
get
done
through
with
this
it as soon as possible.
I want this to be a story we can tell.
I agree with that. All right, look out there. A little bit of snow, but it's not snowing right now. Do you think we're going to see more tonight?
No, I don't think tomorrow, but I think we're going to see more tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours, but maybe just like today, only light accumulations, just about an inch or so, and maybe even changing to rain. Passes look like they're in good shape. That's Lookout Pass right now. Snoqualmie Pass also in good shape. So, hey, there's some positive news there. When we take a look at the current temperature or at the current radar, you can see very dry, not seeing anything really in the way of activity. Here's the current temperature. It was cold last night. It's still cold. 26 degrees, not much in the wind department, just 3-mile-per-hour winds. We'll see an overnight low tonight of 28. 37 the expected high tomorrow, so at least we get above freezing. And again, we could see some afternoon snow or rain showers continuing into the early evening hours as well. We'll talk more about that coming up. I do want to skip ahead to your weekend forecast, though. Show you 40 on Sunday and 38 on Saturday. So again, 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
I like the looks of that, Tom. Thank you very much. Our area is booming, and there's more proof of that on Spokane's South Hill. 15 acres of farmland across from Moran Prairie Elementary School has now been purchased.
The YMCA purchased the land on South Glenrose from longtime landowners, and they are promising a traditional Y for the South Hill, complete with a pool, early learning childcare, a gym, and walking trails that connect with Ben Burr Trail. The parcel is adjacent to an additional 15-acre parcel that is intended to retain its natural landscape.
A homeless resource advocate finally getting her home back with the opening of a new day shelter in Spokane. Jules Helping Hands opened up a brand new day shelter just yesterday with a ribbon cutting ceremony. The shelter's services include a no-barrier clothing bank and food bank, a computer lab, and a de-escalation calming room. There will also be showers and laundry area once they're installed. The new shelter is located at 1819 East Springfield in Spokane. It's not far from Spokaneable, and it will be open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 5 in the evening.
Downtown business owners have growing concerns about safety, homelessness, and the overall direction the city is going.
And now action is being taken to help create change. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk walks us now through some of those recommendations.
Roughly 400 businesses and property owners took part in the survey. 6 out of 10 said homelessness was the biggest issue impacting downtown Spokane. Only a third believe the city is on the right track.
I feel perfectly fine and safe down here.
Filippo Canoyer is not a downtown business owner, but he works for one and serves customers visiting Spokane almost every day.
I think to, tourists that come down here and don't really understand the homeless community, it could be kind of intimidating for them. And then obviously for women too, like walking around downtown.
Businesses listed several key concerns. The top include homelessness, crime, violence, drug addiction, public safety, and security. The majority of businesses surveyed say crime and nuisance activity has either lowered their property's value or the number of customers walking in the door.
We've had customers that have had, instances with their cars and stealing stuff out of their cars, breaking windows and stuff like that. A few times, homeless come in, and we used to keep a tip jar right in our front desk right there, and they would come in, run out, and, run off with it.
Using survey responses, the Downtown Spokane Partnership is recommending several policies. The majority involve the city's homelessness problem. DSP wants the city to provide emergency shelter, social services, drug treatment, and create a structured environment for people suffering from mental illness. Tonight, as we were downtown, a woman in crisis took an outdoor sandwich board and threw it in the street, yelling at cars as she walked away. This driver got out to pick it up. DSP also wants more workforce housing and lawmakers to repeal laws that make it impossible for officers to arrest people in possession of drugs. Filippo says there's one idea missing from that list of proposals: affordable parking options for downtown workers.
Quite a few employees actually quit because they don't make enough to pay for parking here and their bills. So,
while there was a lot of negative feedback in this survey, the majority of business owners say they're optimistic about the future of downtown Spokane. If you'd like to view the full survey, just click on this story at krem.com. I'm Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Well, this Black History Month, we are working to have a more honest conversation about race, and that includes conversations with our own people here at KREM 2.
Coming up right after the break, we're going to hear from our own Janelle Finch.
It's always nice when you can look around a room and see black people as opposed to that normativity of just seeing all white people and being that black spot.